why that's been playing vicariously. It is actually playing by accident, but we're going to incorporate it. We really are. 28 after 11 o'clock. It is 19 degrees downtown right now. Has been 20 degrees, so I won the bet between myself and my co-host Barbara this morning, which is always a pleasure. Now, for you guys that are watching us on Facebook Live right now, got to welcome you along. Thanks for joining us. A little later on, if you're going to be watching this on YouTube, well, you know what to do, right? Yeah, sub, thumb, bell, bingo. Just wondering what that was. But you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM and coming, well, I'm usually out of Nashville, today coming out of California, just out of San Francisco, would you believe, and loving the heart as well. Really am. As we're joined by Rosemarie DeHerrera. Now, she's also a very close friend of close friends of ours, the Hammond brothers. Yes, she is. So let's kick it off this morning. You're right here at Galaxy. Here's Behind Those Eyes with Rosemarie DeHerrera live here at Galaxy. So we've still got a couple of minutes, Rosemarie. Is there anything you need? Anything you need? You don't need a stiff drink or anything?
Don't need a what? I'm so sorry.
You don't need a stiff drink or anything?
I'm fine. You know, I'm totally uninhibited, and I'm also a teacher, and I'm fine talking to you or anybody. I don't care if I meet the president.
I love that. Really do. We do like to have a bit of fun here, and believe
Absolutely.
me, we don't ask the rigid 12 questions that everybody asks, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I really don't want to know what you would take with you if you get stranded on a desert island, something like that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I will ask you a number of questions. I'm sure production over here, they're going to throw in a few fan questions as well.
Alrighty.
But I must let you know, 74 countries this morning and 196 cities around the world are tuned in right now.
Wow, wonderful.
It's going to be fun.
Okay.
And, of course, we're watching you.
Alrighty. Well, I'm so appreciative. I'm so happy to do this. I can't even tell you. So thank you so very much.
Oh, believe me, you will be surprised at how many is online through the interview. We'll give you those numbers at the end of this, okay?
Okay, wonderful.
And it's really exciting. It really is.
And my camera is okay for you? My camera is okay?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Okay, good.
And Donnie Coulter's online. Nice to have you on board. Thank you. Anyway, let's have some fun, Rosemarie.
Alrighty.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 28 away from lunchtime, 12 o'clock noon, 17 degrees. Not bad actually, it has been up to 20 degrees today, Fahrenheit. Sitting in here in the office right now, 83.3 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, that's pretty warm. Yeah, we need to incorporate a little Kiwi ingenuity over there and open a window. What do you reckon? It's getting warm in here. Joined this morning, and believe me, I'm really fascinated by this young lady coming right now out of California, and we're joined by Rosemarie DeHerrera. Welcome to Galaxy, Rosemarie.
Hello, it is so nice today, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, it is an absolute pleasure, and believe me, when we first heard your name, of course, it came from the Hammond brothers. They says, hey, listen, you got to have it. Talk to Rosemarie. So, believe me, it's been a long time coming, but welcome, and
Thank you.
we are so happy to be able to play your music here at Galaxy. We really are.
Thank you so much, and I love the Hammond brothers.
Yeah, absolutely, I do too. Dale and Gail both. Also, have you met Roger Adams and maybe the resident Elvis, Anthony? Yeah. So,
I haven't, but you know, I've met Dale. We've had dinner, Dale Hammond and myself. But you know, I did do 6 episodes on the Nashville TV show, and I know the girl who is the president of the Elvis Presley fan club in Tennessee, and that's been really exciting to me. She tells me the stories of having lunch with Priscilla Presley and Lisa Marie and all that. So that's been my little Elvis connection there.
That's very, very cool. Unfortunately, the closest I ever got to Elvis was actually having a tour through Graceland, which I thought was fantastic, actually. Really,
Yeah.
you know, one of those things you tick off the bucket list. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be done. You got to. Same with the Grand Ole Opry. Actually, you got to go and have a look at that. Have you been to the Opry?
I've been to the Opry, but my goal is to perform on the Grand Ole Opry, and I am close friends. When I was performing this last year in Tennessee, I was doing a lot of open mics across from the Opryland Hotel at the Scoreboard, and a lady befriended me, and it turns out 4 months later that it was Gloria Willadine, the daughter of Willie Nelson. And so she has placed a few people on the Grand Ole Opry, and I may have a chance to do that when I head back to Nashville. So I'm working on that, thank you.
Well, I tell you what, you schmooze her up that way, and then once you get what you want, you tell her, come and talk to the guys at Galaxy as well.
I will.
Brilliant, absolutely. Of course, we're trying to get hold of her father, to be very honest with you. So far, we got as far as his bodyguard. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bound and determined to meet Willie and built out crazy, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm working on it, and then I'll pass him over to you.
Nice, I love that, I do. Now, we opened up the show, Rosemarie, with Behind Those Eyes. Now, please, tell me all about the lyrics. How did you come to that?
Okay, the song was originally written for someone who has a new girlfriend but is still sort of thinking about their old girlfriend. So behind those eyes, is there a story untold? Are you still thinking about the ghost from the past? But as I've performed this song and as time has gone on, it's sort of changed its meaning for me, because I've learned that everybody has a story of their life. You perceive someone as some way, people think I have the perfect life and this and that, and you really don't know what goes on behind their persona, behind the scenes of their life. Everyone has a story. I lived this last time in an apartment complex in Nashville. We lived next to the Vanderbilt Hospital, and I met many people who were there from around the United States having organ transplants and trying to save their lives. And to talk to those people, they really had a story of wanting to live and what had happened to them. And you meet them in the elevator, you have no idea until they start to tell you their story. So as time has gone on, it has created a new meaning for me.
Totally understand that. I really, really do. Now, at the same time, Donnie, you sent us a package. Believe me, love packages. I'll keep an eye out for that for sure. Absolutely. Tina is joining us this morning. Again, nice to have you on board again, Tina. You're an absolute fan. Love Tina coming out of Oklahoma. We really do. And also big hugs and kisses to little Angel as well. Okay? Right now, I've got a fan question for you, Rosemarie. As a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Rosemarie, do you respond?
I do. Every person that hits my Facebook, which I use the most, and makes a comment, I comment back. Now, you can go to my website, which is rosemariesmusic.com. From that, you can see videos and photos from Nashville and what I do, but you can also link on to my Facebook. And I just posted some new pictures, a few days ago, but I have quite a few performance videos. The last live stream was performed here in California with my guitarist that I worked with for many years at the Danville Hot Summer Nights. But he grew up with Michael Bolton, the world famous Michael Bolton, and helped write the book that came out 7 years ago. We did a live stream show in Danville during COVID, and that now has 69,000 views. So you can reach me by my website, which links you to my Facebook, and I'm getting going more and more on Instagram.
Now, do you have a merch store on your website as well? Can we buy merch from there?
What's that? I'm so sorry.
Do you have a merchandise store on your website?
I don't have merch yet, but I'm working on that. You can hook on to my website. There's a place you can put your email, and I can give you all the information, but I'm creating some merch right now.
Tell you what, when you get a couple of t-shirts, how about sending me a couple so that when I'm doing these interviews,
Alrighty.
believe me,
Wonderful.
people that are watching these, they get on the interwebby thing and they go and find out who Delacoma is, for instance, coming out of Australia, A-lister.
Okay.
A-lister. Go and check him out. Believe me, you will love him. He also does a parody of In Excess. He really does. Now, believe me, they go and look before you know it. You've sold a dozen t-shirts and maybe a couple of koozies. You know what I mean?
I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
Ken Halser is on board from WTOB as well. Nice to have them on board.
Yeah, we want to collaborate.
Yeah, we do want to collaborate with you, and we'll talk a little bit of Turkey a little later on. We really will.
On there?
Sorry?
Michelle Lee.
Michelle Lee has joined us as well. Nice, thank you, Barbara. I didn't notice that one. The Queen of Country Music here at Galaxy. Nice to have the Queen on board. My liege, love you. We really, really do. But in the meantime, let's get back to Rosemarie DeHerrera and tell me about Cry and Try Again. How did you come to this?
Okay, Cry and Try Again was actually a song my music producer found for me. Rick Durrett, who's toured 12 years with Dolly Parton and Crystal Gale. And he went to the big Nashville music writers down on Music Row and know them personally and asked them for songs that would fit my style of music. So he told me that he was talking to this gentleman who is the head of one of the major publishing companies, and he gave him some songs and he said, oh no, I want the ones in your drawer that you're saving for special people. I want those. So he opens the drawer, and this was one of the songs that he gave to him, Cry and Try Again. And I just love it, and it has one of the best responses ever. When I posted this the first time in California on my Facebook, within a few weeks I had 95,000 views.
Well, I can only boast about 1,277 requests since we've been playing it here at Galaxy. Not as many as 97 yet, but, 1,200, not bad. You're right here at Galaxy. Here is Rosemarie DeHerrera joining us live at Galaxy with Cry and Try Again.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Rosemarie? You okay?
I'm good, very good.
Nice, nice. I see Michelle Lee's joining us. She's a 10-time Josie Award winner.
Oh, wonderful. That's really great.
That's why she's the Queen of Country Music here at Galaxy. She just has such a following, it's not funny. But I got to admit with you, Rosemarie, that since we've been playing you, you're getting quite the following here.
Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm very impressed. Now, I got to let you know, it's not actually easy to get an interview here. Poor Barbara, she gets between 20 and 50 bands a day getting in touch with her, wanting to do the promotions.
I know it. I know, and I really appreciate this moment. Thank you.
It gets ridiculous, it does, but she has to, of course, we've only got a certain amount of time in a week to be able to do these. She's got to whittle it down to the best of the best, and then she goes to production, and here they work it out again. Then it goes to a board for approval because they're interested in our image. You know what I mean?
Yes, well, thank you. I mean, I don't take it for granted, and I'm so appreciative to be here today, so thank you.
Oh, not a problem, but I tell you what, when all of that process is done, Barbara hands it to me on a USB kind of device that I Bluetooth into my car stereo. And I tell you why car stereo is, 2 reasons. First reason is I can hear it by myself and make up the idea myself whether I want to do the interview or not. You know what I mean? Nobody else is influencing me. The other reason is, well, nobody else wants to drive with me. They kind of think going sideways is weird. They do. They do. But Barbara's son is a New Zealand champion car racer, goes sideways. Same with her grandson as well, a champion car racer.
Wow.
But then they get into the car with me and they scream.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I love that.
That's
Though.
something.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
an adrenaline rush when you're speeding in those cars. I can just imagine.
Well,
the race car, you know.
I always gauge by how much the whiteness on the knuckles are when they're clamming onto stuff going around corners, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh dear, Michelle Lee is not the court jester. I am the court jester, your liege, my liege. You are not the court
No,
jester.
and Ken, we must catch up and do the sister radio
Yes,
thing.
yes, absolutely.
Thank you
I want
for
to catch
joining
up
us.
with you,
Yeah.
Ken. I really, really do. This sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and meet Rosemarie.
Yes. It's 83.4 degrees Fahrenheit in the office here. It's hot. You know what I mean?
That's warm. That is warm.
Yeah, we have Kiwi air conditioning here. It's open the damn window, please.
Oh my goodness.
We do. Now, believe me, Rosemary, I'm really, really impressed with this. I want to talk about Chris Lusinger, the G-Man for Garth Brooks. Now, when we first came to air, we were playing, of course, Boot, Scoot and Boogie, which is a Brooks and Dunn deal. Tell me a little bit about this man.
Okay, Chris is so humble, and he's one of the best guitarists in the entire world. He has now been inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville. But he recorded on my first recordings when I was very young with Garth Brooks' G-Men, and then I later actually contacted him a few years ago when I ran across my producers on LinkedIn and cold called him. He had done a solo that I had played for every musician and every friend my entire life. It was my favorite, and I found out he did it. So I cold called him, sent him the solo, said how much I loved it. My band members are like, Rosemarie, this man is never going to text you back. He's not going to email you. He's world famous. I'm like, well, it's a compliment. I'm going to give it a go, right? So my friend was helping me post all this out. She goes, you know what? He's reading your email now. He's listening to the solo now. Boom, I get this little email back. I was invited. I was actually volunteering at the time on the side at a hospital, and that lady, if you can believe it, all these cosmic things happen. The lady I volunteered with, her best friend lived next to Garth Brooks in Nashville because she was the top real estate person in Tennessee. Anyways, we go to the volunteer appreciation luncheon. She invited me to go to Nashville in 10 days for Thanksgiving with her. And so I told him I was planning on being there, and he texted back, you know what? I'm not that busy during Thanksgiving week. How about if we have coffee at Starbucks across from Vanderbilt College? And that's where I always rehearsed to lay down my lines and kind of went over them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bingo! Chris invited me to meet with him for coffee. I played the solo that I loved all those years, and I said, Chris, would you consider re-recording this? And he's like, absolutely. So I'm in his peer group now. We're good friends, and I didn't realize he toured with my music producer for 12 years for Krista Gill. I just saw him on old videos playing in the background when she was touring in Japan, and Rick Durrett, before he became a music producer, was her keyboardist. So he's a wonderful, kind man, and he's so humble if you compliment him. But he's one of the best guitarists in the world.
I got to agree. I absolutely love, love, love the work that's done on this. Now, I got to let you know, Rosemary, um, I've been an engineer now for almost 40 years. You know, time goes on. It really does. Not only being a studio engineer, but also a front of house engineer. I've travelled around the world with some of the biggest bands in the world, literally, and had a very exciting career. Now, it's not often that I find a band that I absolutely find fascinating, to which I got to be honest, I found the fascination in your music. Okay?
Thank you.
And really, as an engineer, I don't listen to music as a fan would listen to a music. I kind of try and break it down, discover where you're going, who did what, when, where, you know what I mean? And,
Sure.
well, quite frankly, I can't fault your work. Now, this was recorded in Rick Derrick Productions, is that right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Rick.
Rick is one of the best producers in Nashville, but he got all of his musical experience by working with Dolly Parton and Crystal Gayle and performed with them for 12 years before he actually went into a music studio. He pulled me in down to LSI Studios on Music Row, which now is like a historical landmark, and provided me with Garth Brooks' G-Men to lay down the first tracks that I recorded. And he always told me, hey, Rosemary, I got you the best of the best, but I just pinned him down a few years ago. Who were these musicians? And that's when I found out, hey, it was Mike Chapman, who passed away a few years ago, Chris Lusinger, the drummer from Garth Brooks and G-Men. And I knew that was going to be a golden ticket into meeting people in Nashville, and it has been. And then when I met Chris Lusinger, and he's my friend and re-recorded these songs, he invited me right before COVID hit to the Musicians Award at the Nashville Symphony Hall, which was basically just friends and family of many, many musicians, but so many performers performed that night. It was, Garth was there, Steve Warner, Brooks and Dunn. They all got up for about 4 hours, but that's where I was able to go down to the main floor and introduce myself to Garth and just tell him that I worked with Chris Lusinger, and we carried on a little conversation. So it was very nice.
Very, very cool, Rosemary. I'm really, really, really fascinated. Ken Hauser, 93 there in WS. Okay, that's warm. That's really warm. Believe me, air conditioning, recommend it. I really, really do. Now, I want to talk to you about this because this is your most requested song here at Galaxy, is Let the Stranger In. Tell me all about this.
Okay, this is an unusual song, but what we wanted to create and what we actually did accomplish is the mysterious sound in this. If you notice, it has music that sounds like wind. It's sort of mysterious because it's the stranger on the run. And that creates a different kind of sound. It's a little bit similar to Garth Brooks' song when he's out cheating on his wife and the this and the that. So we created that, and we got that mysterious sound to go along with the lyrics and the this and the that. So I really love it for that.
Absolutely brilliant. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by Rosemarie DeHerrera and Let the Stranger In. How you feeling? Have you got a drink? There you go. You liquid.
Want some water? I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you so much.
Nice. I'm going to talk to you about the COVID thing next time up, mainly because everybody that I talk to at the moment, and of course it's hit everybody, every musician around the world, literally. Are you recording more? Are you writing more right now rather than performing?
I have been with the COVID thing going on since we haven't been able to perform. And when I get back to Nashville, I'd like to start recording again, but I'm working really hard on getting these songs heard. Now, I've had Let the Stranger In played by ABA Livestream Radio about a year and a half ago on a gold country segment, and it was getting on Spotify and iHeartRadio about 100,000 hits a week with this gold country segment that they posted out. I also, when I came back a year and a half ago, I was on a San Francisco radio station that helped assimilate Asian people into Western culture and she played it to 500,000 people in California, but it was actually listened to by 20 million people in China at the time. So I'm trying to get it out there on as many radio stations as I can. That's what I'm working on right now to get these heard, these ones I've already done. So I appreciate everything you're doing so much.
Well, I can't compete with 20 million, but I can compete by saying you've 3,500 so far, 3,599 requests for it so far.
Thank you. That is nice. Thank you very much.
Poor Sarah at the front desk, when we first started playing you, we didn't tell anybody who, what, when, or where. We just played your music, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then we got inundated by people wanting to know who, what, when, or where. And
nice.
Then it's gone ballistic from there. Terry Buchanan's joining us. Nice to have you on board, brother man. And you're going to be on York's World very, very shortly. Very, very cool. And take care of York. He's a good friend of mine. He really is. And I'm sure he's going to treat you really well. He is. Would you mind, we have a friend of ours who has a magazine coming out of India, about 8 million people in the region where he lives.
The Hammonds have been in.
Okay.
Would you mind if I got Barbara to pass your information on to him? The Hammonds have been in there as well. It's Lazy
And
Indie magazine.
Roger's been in
And
it.
Roger Adams has been in there as well.
Fantastic.
It's all...
I've been at 4 magazines, and you can see them on my wall here. If you look, I put myself in Danville Living magazine, which is, I'll show you briefly. This is where my hometown, and before I left for Nashville a few years ago, was in here. But my story of how we made my country music television video and my life history is in U.S. Veterans Magazine, which I got placed in because I opened for Lee Greenwood a couple of years ago.
Rosemarie, I've got to cut you off right there. We've got to go back to the desk. Sorry, my dear.
No problem.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, just talking to Rosemarie about being in a magazine, and believe me, we would love to be able to pass on all the information on to our good friend Jay from Lazy Indie magazine coming out of India, and he will love it, he will, I know this, and believe me, Rosemarie, you will love Jay as well. He's a fantastic man, he really, really is, highly intelligent man as well. It doesn't mean to say I'm not, but believe me, you will love him. You really, really will.
Thank you so much.
Terry Buchanan's joining us. Nice to have you on board, Terry. Of course, we were talking about York's World there as well. And Terry is a steel guitar player coming out of North Carolina. Absolutely fantastic artist in his own right. And so happy you're going to be on York's World. I really, really am. In the meantime, let's get back to Rosemarie, because this is who it's about, and absolutely loving this. Now, at the meantime, it is a surreal time right now with the COVID virus going on. Everybody I know that's in the music industry right now, not doing shows, but looking towards the future, of course. They're getting their shots and everything like that.
Yes.
Apparently, half of the adult population of America now has received their shots, which is progressive. We're getting rid of this thing. It's declining. It's getting out of here. We don't need it.
Absolutely.
Are you looking forward to getting back on stage?
Absolutely. I've been dancing and singing in my kitchen for hours, and I'm going to burst if I don't get out there pretty soon. I do it for hours. I'm not kidding you, especially around Christmas. Oh, my Lord. I just can't hold it back anymore. But I did hook up with Jimmy DeRamus, who is the star of the Pawnbroker reality show, and he is buying and renting out venues for country western performers, and I'm hoping to maybe get into some of his shows, and I've talked to him directly a couple of times for over an hour, so that's one venue I've been tapping into. But yes, absolutely, that's what I live for, is the live performing.
Now, here in New Zealand, we're not doing that bad. I've got to be honest with you. I think we have 4 in isolation management right now. Rest of the country completely free of it. We went into lockdown pretty much straight away when we first heard of this. Besides, we've got a moat around us. We're way down underneath the planet, to be very honest with you. And I think we're doing okay. But having said that, India, for instance, not doing so well right now. Our sympathies go out to there, and other parts of the world. We can have shows here at the moment, but only internal shows, you know what I mean, from New Zealanders.
Okay.
But we are looking at extending that, opening our bubble. Of course, we have an extended bubble with Australia right now. Are you familiar with the Spice Girls?
Oh, absolutely. I love them, yes.
Okay, I was talking to a young lady coming out of Australia just the other day, and I says, how's the COVID thing doing over there? She goes, great, you remember the Spice Girls, don't you? And I went, yes. She goes, okay, well, everybody's doing okay except for Victoria.
What's happening with her?
Well, you know, Victoria was always a little weird in the first place, wasn't she?
Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't she bend it like Beckham or something like that? Yeah, Victoria in Australia, well, you know, they're bending everything over there right now. Believe me, I think they've got about 9 in Victoria right now. So we have extended our bubble to the rest of Australia, excluding Victoria right now. I think it's 3 days, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Meaningless, actually. I think 3 days is not long enough to put people into quarantine, to be honest. I think maybe a couple of weeks might be the given way to go, but 3 days? That's Australian rules, isn't it?
Yeah.
Believe me, we love to have a bit of fun with Australia. You know, it's a love-hate thing, much like Americans and Canadians. Ice hockey, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Ours is another sport called rugby union. And we have, well, arguably the best in the world with the All Blacks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Australia, not so much. But having said that, we love our Australians as much. I mean, I'm even wearing an Australian t-shirt this morning.
Yeah.
I must be... Look, we love this. We do.
Nice.
We love Australia. But having said that, you know, it's not my fault that you can't spell beer. It's honestly, I went over there, asked for a beer. They gave me a can with 4 X's on it.
That's true.
What do you say to
Yeah.
that? Can't spell beer, let alone... I was talking to one Australian, well, a couple of months ago now. He came from the outback, grew up there, went to school there, had kangaroos bouncing through his front and backyard every day. And I said to him, so why can't kangaroos bounce backwards? He goes, can't they?
Oh my gosh.
That's Australian for you right there.
Wow.
But yet again, do you know what a boomerang is?
Of course, yes.
Okay, do you know what one is if it doesn't come back?
I don't know what happens if it doesn't come back. It probably hits somebody.
No, it's called a stick.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is. Now, Creatures of Condition would love to do some shows down there in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Believe me, Donnie, we so want that as well. We really do. Barbara being manager of Aurora Entertainments that brings bands into the country, we want to do it. The only thing that's holding us back with Jubilee is the government right now.
Okay.
So when that happens, we will be in touch, Donnie. Believe me, we really will. Now, Rosemary, talking about touring here in New Zealand, would you consider coming to the Antipodes to do a couple of shows?
Absolutely. I would love to do that.
Gotta let you know, though, we're kind of crazy down here in New Zealand. We do some weird stuff. Are you up for a couple of challenges?
Always, always, always.
Okay. Oh, you're going to love this. You are. Rosemary, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
I have not. What is that?
Okay, you're familiar with caterpillar, right?
Yes.
Right. This isn't that. Literally, this is like a double-decker bus to a mini. It's big, it's white, it's got a black head, and what you do... Now, the indigenous folks of New Zealand still today use this as a delicacy. You put the live body in your mouth, rip off the head, don't eat the head, but when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Oh my goodness. I have never heard of that. I don't know if I'd like that.
Well,
I tried it once.
yeah, well, I recommend alcohol. Usually, you know, before or after. Most people want to try it during as well, which is really weird. But I'll get Barbara to send you the instructional video of it. Just to let you know, I'm not pulling your leg. We actually do this here.
All right. Thank you.
Do you know much about New Zealand?
I don't know a lot about New Zealand, no.
Okay, let me...
But I had a friend that went there recently and he loved it, just on a whim. Christmas during lockdown, and he said he really loved it. So
we're a friendly race. Well, I got to be honest with you. We love everybody. We do, especially if you got a fat wallet, we'll love you even more. but we're made up of 3 islands. Now, right down the very bottom of New Zealand is a little place called Stewart Island.
okay,
Happens to be the only place in New Zealand that actually got a name.
wow,
The rest, well, the next island, and think about this, whoever named New Zealand ran out of imagination because they called the next island South.
oh my goodness.
And to follow that, of course, we got North, right? You know, original, yeah, believe me.
Oh my Lord.
I want to rename them. I do.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, now here's something to think about, Rosemary. Scientists right now are looking for a planet that's got the Goldilocks deal where man can go and inhabit, right?
Yep.
So we're out there, we're looking for planets and everything. We're finding all these planets. So we have the gall to go and name them, don't we?
Yes.
Same with the moons, right? Now, we haven't asked these people to live on these planets whether we want to, you know, should be naming them or anything like that. But more importantly, we name the moons as well. Now, we come up with some really fantastic names, we really do. But yet again, let's come back to our planet and look up. Ours is called Moon. I mean, come on. Can't we come up with something original? Something better than just Moon, really.
Because it's spectacular to look at. It needs a great, great name.
Yeah, it does. I'm thinking maybe Celestial Body Brian.
Absolutely, that's a good one.
Yeah, but it would look good on a check too, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So, you know, now we've come to Stewart Island, North and South Island, New Zealand. Want to name those 2 islands as well, I really do. But the Maori have called our wonderful country Aotearoa, which stands for the land of the long white cloud, which basically means that we're cloudy all the time.
Okay.
Even on a good day, you can find clouds here. You really can.
Wow. Okay.
But down the west coast of the South Island is a little place called Hokitika down there that does a thing called wild foods. Now, you're familiar with festivals, kids wandering around, candy floss, hot dogs, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, not there. Literally, it's wild foods. You might find kids wandering around with a deep fried locust on a stick, something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it not only challenges the taste buds, it challenges the mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, I've performed at many fairs and festivals, and you get a big crowd of people, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of those as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Queenstown?
Queenstown, I believe I have, yes.
Nice. Not Queensland. That's in Australia. Apparently, that's the place.
Okay, then that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
The one in Australia.
Yeah, no, the one in Australia is the place where all the men run around in skirts and stuff like that, isn't it? Queensland? High heels? Apparently, drag racing over there is men driving fast in skirts and women's dresses. Anyway, Queenstown here in New Zealand, literally. Now, Shania Twain owns property down there. You never know who you might bump into. It's the kind of boutique-y little town that wants to be a city that all the A-listers from around the world go and run away to. Go and get some privacy, get away from the paparazzi, take their significance and best friends, all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
Keanu Reeves goes down there all the time, Tom Cruise, Kevin Costner.
Oh, wow.
Really, they all go and hide down there. Now, you never know who you might bump into, but Rosemary, I've got to be honest, you don't want to bump into me down there.
Why? What are you doing down there?
I'll throw you off a bridge.
Okay. All right.
I will, actually. A good friend of mine who introduced the sport bungee jumping to New Zealand is down there.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And seeing you're not Australian, we'll attach the bungee.
Very good. That's a good thing. Now, I've done skydiving, but I've not done bungee jumping.
Well, I tell you what, I've been doing skydiving for almost 40 years now. If you want to do a dive, I would be more than honoured to go out of a perfectly good aeroplane with you.
Well, thank you. We can do tandem.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'll sing all
As
the
long
way
as he's
down.
not the pilot.
I dare you. I absolutely dare you. One young man, he came along one day and he says, I want to do a tandem. So I didn't say a thing to him. I hooked him all up, got him all prepared. We jumped out of the plane, and on the way down I says, do the instructors often click the students to their backs?
Right.
All of a sudden he started to yell.
I bet.
Oh, it's just, something I do with them from time to time. It's a lot of fun. It really is. But yeah, I would love to do a tandem with you. I really would.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with The Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, about an hour and a half's drive from where we are right now is the original set of Hobbiton. And we would love to be able to take you to Middle-earth, show you around, get you introduced to all the party trees and the hobbit holes, all that sort of stuff.
Wow, I think I've read about that, and it's so beautiful there, but I think I've read about that. Wow.
Well, the weird thing, Rosemary, I've got to be honest with you, is, of course, Peter Jackson. I can't call him sir. I can't. I went to university with Peter.
Okay.
Okay, I know him quite well. Problem with that, literally, you should see some of his earlier films. You got to wonder how the heck he got this deal, really.
Yeah.
But he did a fantastic job. He really, really did. I'd have to get the staff to take you there. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed back in.
I would love to see that. I really would.
Yeah, believe me, yeah. Unless I turn up with Peter, there's no way I'm getting back in. Apparently, one of their security carts, those little golf cart things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, went missing, apparently.
Wow.
Ended up in a lake.
Oh my gosh, not good.
Oh, no, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Oh, God.
Rosemary, I'm into shenanigans in a big way. And if you're coming to New Zealand and you're going to hook up with me, let me just say one word.
Okay.
Bail money. Well, 2 words. Bail money.
Oh, bail money, okay.
Bail money,
Well,
yeah. Now, are you into shopping? Do you like going out doing the shops?
yes, absolutely.
Brilliant, because believe me, Barbara's an Olympic shopper.
Oh my goodness.
She will show you all the good places up and down the country to go to. Believe me, it is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Do you like wine?
I do like wine. I live close to Napa, which is very famous for wine here in California.
Okay, well, we would love to show you around some of New Zealand's famous wineries as well, including Montana.
Wonderful.
And believe me, you never know, we might be able to convert you.
Yeah.
We might, because we do have some world-class wine here in New Zealand.
So nice. That's wonderful.
When you go to your next wine supplier, ask for some Montana
Okay.
from New Zealand. Believe
Oyster
me,
Bay.
you won't regret it. You
Oyster
really
Bay
won't.
is
All right.
In the meantime, well, you never know. You might be rocking around the clock and loving it. You never know.
Yeah. I'm flexible.
Tell me about Around the Clock Lovin'.
Okay, Round the Clock Lovin' was sort of pitched for me with my style of singing. KT Oslin. That has Chris Lusinger on it, and it also has the background vocalist laid down stacked all three background vocalists on that. She toured with Ray Stevens and worked with Reba McEntire for 20 years as her background singer. So we really liked the style of it. We tried to make it a little bit of a grunge guitar going on that. We had about 9 or 10 musicians playing on that, but Chris Liesinger did lead guitar on that. And then recently, KT Oslin just passed away a few months ago, so I was sad to hear that. But she actually wrote that song with somebody else, so she's the original writer on that song. But I've always gotten a great response on it. I'm trying to get that out now, but I really enjoy it. So I'm glad people are enjoying it on your radio station.
Believe me, they really are. In the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy. Here's Rosemarie DeHerrera, Around the Clock Loving, right here at Galaxy. How are you feeling, Rosemary? You okay?
I'm good. Thank you so very much.
Oh, absolute pleasure, Rosemary. It really, really is.
Good, good. I'm enjoying every minute of it, so thank you.
If you need a therapist after this, I know a couple of good ones.
Okay.
Have you ever tried vegan sausages?
No, but my dad, as a small child, lived on a farm and they made blood sausage.
Love blood sausage. Yeah.
I
Told us all about it in
Yeah.
the horns of the cows. They stuffed it in there.
Okay. No, it was just an off-the-cuff
me.
question because, yeah, I was just wondering if they're made of real vegans.
If they're what, vegans?
Made of
My
real...
dad was such a meat eater, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, believe me, I am too. I'm a meatologist.
Oh, are you okay?
I really am. Yeah, no, well, the thing was, back in the day, we used to get a thing here in New Zealand called Girl Guide biscuits.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't made of real Girl Guides either.
No.
No. False advertising. It's like baby oil. How many babies goes into a bottle of baby oil?
Let's hope none. Let's hope there's none in there.
Well, Johnson and Johnson will not answer my emails.
They might be better at making the
They don't even
vaccine.
want to touch that.
Oh, believe me, I go right there. Go for the bullseye.
That's funny.
It really is. Actually, here's a question I put to a guy the other day. He was a vegan, and I says, you know, a couple of vegans go out on the pub on, you know, Friday night, have a few drinks, then fall out with each other and start getting into a fight in the car park. Is it still called a beef?
I don't know if they call it a beef.
If you get a slap in the face, is it a chop?
A pork chop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Believe me, don't get me started. I used to do stand-up comedy.
Did you? Good for you. I think that's fantastic. Now, that's something I don't think I could do. It takes a lot of courage to get up and do comedy on a stage.
It
You know?
really does. And I'll tell you
It
what,
does.
my first time scared the living hell out of me. I don't know how the hell I ever followed through with it again. But
Yeah.
I was a DJ in a nightclub, and I used to tell jokes and interact with the customers, you know what I mean? And this guy comes up to me and goes, have you ever thought about telling jokes on stage to a crowd? And I went, I do it anyway. He says, how would you like to come to the comedy company and do a show? He says, I'll tell you what, next week I'll send a car, da-da-da. So sure enough, car rolls up, I get in the car, takes me around the back of this old theatre, and I go to the door. The driver says, just knock on the door. So I go to the door, and here's this old fat man. He looks at me and goes, be funny.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's like pressure right there. My God.
Scared the hell out of me.
Pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, yeah. Believe me. But it was fun.
Now that's something you'd have to take a stiff drink before you went on, honestly.
There's
It takes courage.
There's a thing called Jack Daniels. She's good.
Okay, very good. Jack's your friend.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 16 after 12 o'clock noon, lunchtime, 16 degrees downtown, all the 16s right now. Wednesday, middle of the week, yes. I'm not going to say what Barbara says, May the 26th, and I'm so elated to be here with Rosemarie DeHerrera. I do have the last name right, isn't it? It is DeHerrera?
It is. Some people pronounce it DeHerrera, but it's also pronounced the way you're saying it, so no problem.
Okay, well, I'll use the excuse, it's my accent.
Absolutely.
There you go. I'm certainly not trying to insult you in any way. I do want to make sure I've got it right.
I'm enjoying talking to you so much, and thank you for letting me be here today. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm just about to ask you, Rosemarie, if you're recording new songs, would you come back again? Would you release some stuff with us in the near future?
Absolutely. I appreciate you playing my songs, and the exposure in foreign countries and everything. I appreciate it so, so much. As soon as I finish some recordings, I will let you know. Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. Get them over to Barbara. Believe me, she'll get them to us, and we'll action those straight away. Literally, we love, love, love your work here at Galaxy. We really do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you do. I really do. Thank you.
And, well, I've got to say, please keep writing, keep recording, keep sending them to us. Well, you know, without people like you, I don't have a job.
That's right.
So I need you to do your work. I really, really do.
All right.
So, yeah, well, it's true. I need a job. I do. And they keep employing me here for some strange reason. Putting me in the seat, talking to absolutely stunning people like Rosemarie right now. And she's still trying to figure out whether I'm for real or not, to be honest. And believe me, I have offered her a psychiatrist. I really have. Got a good friend of mine out of Long Island.
Yes.
She'll working well. Now, at the same time, Rosemarie,
Yes.
since you let me go, tell me all about that, because I don't think that you have let me go.
Okay. That song was actually the song we used in my full-blown cast of 50 people country music television video production that we did. And I love it because it's a time travel. It moves very quickly, keeps you entertained. We had, 25 dancers, and it starts out in present day. And I'm setting up for a gig with my band when I see my sweetheart from World War II off in the distance. He goes down the hall and through a door, and when I open it, it's now the 1940s, and I have characters that play me at age 16, and my lover and my significant other. And we have old-time fashion instruments now. We transform the whole room back into the 1940s, and I love that song. At the end of it, we dedicate it to the military and the veterans who did so much for our country. And that video earned me the spot to perform with Lee Greenwood a couple of years ago. And I also wrote my story in the U.S. Veterans Magazine. It's gotten quite a few hits on YouTube. So far, it's up to about 14,000. But I'm trying to get connected with Charles Duke, who plays these videos. He is the CEO of CMT and a real good friend of Gloria Willadine. So when I go back to Nashville, I'm hoping to meet him and hoping he will play this for me.
I wish you all the luck. I really, really do.
Thank you.
Also, would love to be able to have a look at the video myself, to be very honest. I'm very inquisitive about that. Roger Peterson is watching us. Yes, the Queen's humble husband is joining us now. And thank you for that. Oh, thank you. Sorry.
No problem.
There it is.
Yeah, I think you would really love the video.
Yeah,
it's fast moving, it's a time travel, and it's just really, a cast of 50 people. It was really professionally done by a production company in Nashville.
Absolutely, and believe me, I'll talk to you off air, but I've got a friend of mine who has a company in Nashville called Visual Image Marketing. Now, he puts videos right where they need to be. They, you know, the Hard Rocks, the Floating Palaces, the Burger Kings, all the places that public goes to go and maybe have a meal, maybe have a drink, or just have an entertainment evening, and they've got video walls, stuff like that. He's the guy to know to put them there.
Fantastic, thank you.
Jill Santa Benaz is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Jill. It's been a while. Really has. Welcome back to Galaxy. Yeah, this man's name, of course, is... gosh, it's gone straight out of my mind after you said. Steve Baker, of course it is. I would love to be able to get him in touch with you as well, because believe me, he does a power work for his clients to be able to get their videos in every place you need it to be.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll get Barbara to be able to send that information. We'll hook you guys up, and well, from there, of course, the disclaimer is no harm in talking. You never know what might happen, right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Excellent. Jill, nice to have you on board, and believe me, I wonder, how's the TV show going? I hope it's going well for you guys. I really, really do. And how's the man? Hope he's doing well as well. But in the meantime, Since You Let Me Go, right here at Galaxy, is live with Rosemarie DeHerrera and Galaxy.
Thank you.
Whew. Gosh, it's still...
Thank you so much.
Rosemary, it's an absolute pleasure, darling. It really, really is. And
Thank you. I'm enjoying it so much, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
well, I feel very humbled to meet you, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to us Kiwis down here in New Zealand.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Nice to see. We should catch up again, Jill.
Oh, you're doing a selfie there.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Donnie, good show. Thank you. Thank you very,
Great
very much.
artist.
Yeah, well, it's easy to do a good show with a great artist.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm a chit chatter now, and anything you throw at me, I'll roll with the punches, and I just enjoy it. So thank you.
Well, Rosemary, it's an absolute pleasure. It really, really is. At the same time, got to give a shout out to the Hammer Brothers. We really, really do.
I love the Hammond Brothers, and
Coming
Dale
next
has helped
week.
me so much. I really
Next
do
week.
enjoy him,
And,
and I love their music. And he's a nice guy, Dale.
Both Dale and Gail are coming back again next week, I've just been told. So
Good.
that's
Good.
fantastic. It really, really is.
I know their song Susie has done so well.
Believe me, it does well here too. But I tell you what, Train is starting to pick up momentum here at the moment.
I love that one too. I do love it.
And we've got the t-shirts, we've got the cups, we've got the
I'm gonna
product.
get some t-shirts though. I'm gonna get t-shirts and then I'll send you some.
Please do, because
I will.
it's what we call silent advertising, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And while we're doing these, people actually get on the interwebby thing. Before you know it, you've sold a couple of koozies and a couple of CDs and a t-shirt. And
Yeah.
it works. It really works.
Yeah, it really does.
And
you get the name recognition, and people do love the merch. You know.
Exactly. Are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist page on Facebook?
No.
Please go and have a look, because it's there for the artists. If you've got a gig on, if you've got a new song, if you've just photos. And believe me,
Okay.
I got to say, Rosemary, I'm loving the photo of you in the little red sports car.
Oh yeah, I've got some fantastic photos. I really do. I've got a lot of fantastic photos. Thank you.
If you want to promote yourself, please use it, because
Okay, thank you.
there's people from all around the world. There's artists, there's promoters, there's venue people, there's agents, there's average people like myself. Go
Well,
and have a
thank
look.
you. I will do that. I just wasn't sure if I was allowed to do that, but
Oh,
I have
yeah.
looked on your page. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Go and have a look. But in the meantime, we'll wrap it up from here, but please don't go
Okay.
anywhere just yet, because we do a couple of things after this. But hang
Sure.
in there, my friend, and I've got to say thank you.
Thank you.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Joined today, coming out of, well, California, written here actually, Nashville, but she is a Nashville singer-songwriter, recording artist, Rosemarie DeHerrera, and I'm absolutely humbled to have this young lady joining us. She's going to come back again, and I got to thank her.
I want to come in person. I got to come in person to New Zealand and perform.
Yes, we want that. We really, really do. I'm thinking maybe about 4 shows here in New Zealand, maybe about 8 shows in Australia. Let's make it an Australasian thing. Make it worthwhile. We would love to have you touring.
Thank you.
We really would.
Thank you so much. That would be a dream come true. Thank you.
You never know. We might even throw in a couple of hammers at you as well. We will make a deal of it. What do you reckon?
Absolutely. I know they're wanting to do it.
Yes, and maybe even Anthony Liguori can join us as well, our resident Elvis, and maybe Roger Ed. You know, let's make a country thing. And, well, why not even throw in Michelle Lee as well?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Get a little black ink going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I haven't
Absolutely.
practiced yet.
Yeah, we got a festival happening. Loving that idea. Donnie Coulter, we want you to come and play as well. Of course, that's a different kind of show, but we really, really want Donnie to come and play as well, and a number of other artists. So we can't wait for the government to say, green light, let's do it. And believe me, we're not sitting on our hands. No, we're working behind the scenes. We are ready for that day. Right now, we are. And believe me, staging, lighting, crew, you name it, we're there, chomping at the bit, ready to go. Rosemarie DeHerrera, thank you so much for joining us here at
Thank
Galaxy.
you, and thank you to Barbara and both of you so much. I'm so appreciative to have been able to talk to you today and do this, and thank you for playing my music. It means the world to me, so thank you very, very much. I just enjoy you both so much.
Well, thank you, and as I said, I'm very, very humbled to meet you, Rosemarie. Will you come back again? Will you release new stuff with us?
Absolutely, and I have a few songs already that I recorded that I haven't released previously, and I think you would really love them. So as soon as I get that ready, I will let you know.
Tell you what, how would you like to throw in a couple of, say half a dozen CDs? We can do a giveaway here. Keep your name rolling at Galaxy. Would you be doing
Yeah. Let me know where to send those. I'd be happy to. I've got 1,000 already ready to go, honestly.
Okay, we'll take
for my shows. Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
We'll take all 1,000. Don't worry about it.
All right, you sell them, baby.
No, we'll give them away. We don't actually make money on other people. But having said that, I'll get Barbara to give you all the details of everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, hang in there, my friend, because believe me, we do a couple of other things after this.
Sure. Sure.
And I'll apologise now. But you will get a copy of everything we do today. Even Barbara will make a movie out of everything we've done. Send it to you as well. Take a couple of photos so you can put them on your wallpaper on your phone. Kiwis.
Wonderful.
Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it. You know what I mean?
I'll enjoy that. Thank you.
In the meantime, let's go back over to Studio B. Here's Gwen McRae and Rockin' Chair, way back in 1975.
Now a flashback 45 from the 70s.